All right, we're going to rank all characters in Marvel Strike Force. That's right, every single character. And this is one of my most requested videos I've been getting for quite some time. I just want to thank everyone who comes out to the top 10 character videos and likes it. It's always my favorite video I make every month. And that comment was coming up in the comment section quite a bit, is like, can you rank all characters? And we're going to do that. And it's going to be a little bit different approach than what people expect. And my feeling is this, is we need to approach characters from a standpoint of what characters do you use the most? It's a big deal. We've got basically 6 game modes in Marvel Strike Force. We have Arena. We have the new Player versus Player. We have the Dark Dimension 3. We have War. We have Blitz. And we also have Raid. And what characters are you using in most of these game modes? What characters are you using the most? Speaking of Raid, let's have a brief word. And now, a word from our sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends is a turn-based RPG done right. Not only is it free to play, but you can play on your mobile and your PC. Challenge yourself to your edge in the ongoing tournament. Compete against the entire Raid community while fighting the Spider's Den, Ice Golem's Peak, the Almighty Fire Knight, or the Notorious Dragon. What I like about this game is the awesome PvP arena. The arena in Raid is an accurate indicator of your overall strength and global recognition of your game progress. And now in Raid, patch 1.15, you'll be able to compete in the brand new arena tournament. Earn points according to your tier and win awesome rewards in the local and global tournament. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you are a new player, you will get 100,000 silver, 1 free epic champion, Lightsworn. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. Good luck, and I'll see you there. Okay, we're here. All right, so let's just start off the scoring system, as there's basically 6 game modes. And so loosely, I went through on Twitch and went through the community and said, you know, what characters are you using in every single game mode? And there's just a handful. But I wanted to say it's split up into basically 4 different categories. We've got right here 6s and 5s, and there's 15 of them. And that's on purpose that we have 15 of them. And let's just call the 6s and 5s God tier. And let's not get too specific about, oh, this one should be a 6 or this one should be a 5. I just want to say it's loosely 5s and 6s are amazing. And then we have what I would like to call like amazing, which are going to be the 3s and the 4s. Those are characters that have a uses outside of just War and Blitz. Like, they're actually useful in other places than just War and Blitz. And that's about 30 characters. Then as we go down a little bit further, we get into the 2s. And these are the staples in the game. The 2s are characters that I'm finding use not only in Blitz, but also in War. And that makes up about 60 characters. Now, not all the 2s are created the same. I understand that, but we'll talk about that more. And then lastly, at the bottom, we have what we call trash, absolute trash. And these are the 1s and 0s. These are characters that I may not even use ever in a week time. And why is this important? And why do we want to talk about this? Because a lot of the questions I get are about certain types of characters, like, what's the best T4 in the game? And I want to talk about Black Panther first. And the reason I want to talk about Black Panther first is he has an amazing T4. He really does. And T4s are very valuable. And that's what we're kind of talking about, is like, you want to put your T4s on your best characters that you use all the time. But Black Panther's passive is amazing, right? But where do you use Black Panther? I use him right now in a Hero Brawler team on War, and I use him in Blitz. I don't use him very much. Another character that I believe is in the same category as Black Panther would be Killmonger. Killmonger probably benefits the most from promotion credits and getting red stars. Right here, Killmonger. But where do you use Killmonger? And I use him with mercenaries in War, and then I use him on Blitz. I don't use the character very much. And so I think this list is important because, you know, people say, what are the essential T4s for Asgardians? And, you know, my thing is, man, work on Hela. Work on Hela. Work on Loki. And then you could start getting tricky with Heimdall's passive and things like that. Because these God tier characters, you can feel comfortable in putting your resources into it. And this is what I'm talking about specifically. When you get up to to gear tier 12, you don't really want to go above 12. You want to stop at 12. Unless you're going to go all the way to 14, it gets really scarce when you get to 12 and going above for the gold materials. T4s are super scarce, and you only want to put on characters you're using all the time. Taking characters above level 71, going from 71, the gold gets really steep when you go from 71 to 75. And so these are the characters that I'm the most comfortable suggesting to look into, because these are characters that I use every day, all the time, in almost every single game mode. Now, the only exception to that is going to be Ebony Maw. And I put Ebony Maw on this list preemptively. I don't know if he's a 6 or a 4. His kit looks like he's somewhere up there, really high. So we'll have to see. My suggestion on characters like Ebony Maw and the rest of the Black Order that's going to be on this list is wait and see. You know, wait for videos to come out. Wait for other people to put the T4s. Wait to other people to take them up to 14. Because we have all these different game modes, all the way from Arena to Dark Dimension to Raids to new PvP, Blitz. You know what? Some characters are only useful in War and Blitz. And I'm not going to suggest taking those characters to 14, to level 75, put all the T4s in them, because I'm not going to use them very much. Now, let's talk about the characters that are amazing. We're talking about characters like that are 3s and 4s. And I just want to say that Carnage was a character I struggled with. I kind of wanted to put Carnage at a 5. I ended up taking him down to a 4 because I'm finding I'm not really using him as much as I thought I would, even though he's good in many game modes. He's probably good in 5 modes. He probably should be a 5, but I don't want to get too ticky-tack about 4 and 5. Maybe next month's video he'll be a 5, but for right now, these are the characters that are 3s and 4s, because I'm finding I'm having uses for these characters in particular in game modes outside of just Blitz and War. Carnage, very useful. He's a contender for Dark Dimension 3 for sure. After I finish up Darth Spidey, Symbiote Spider-Man. Symbiote Spider-Man's amazing, my goodness. He's that's why he's on the top up there with a 6. Colossus, also amazing, useful in so many game modes. Same thing with Cyclops, Falcon, all of these characters right here. Now, when I get into the 3s, these are characters that I'm finding only useful in one other game mode outside of War and Blitz. And each one of these characters is specific. And I just want to say this about Black Order. We're guessing whether Black Order is going to be good or not. I'm not sure. I'm guessing they're all going to be good in Arena. I'm already seeing Proxima used in player versus player because of the stun. Stun is amazing in player versus player. That's why Mordo's here. I also think Taskmaster has a good place in PvP. Graviton, I've seen people have a lot of success with Graviton inside of Dark Dimension 3. All of these characters right here have an additional game mode where they're useful. And whether that's in PvP or maybe in Dark Dimension 3 or something like that. But these are characters to consider, but I'm not really using them as much as the other characters at the top of the list. I'm moving out of the way here so you can see all of it. Again, Storm is a character. I use her in U7 inside of the raids sometimes. Thanos probably used in the Arena. Now, let's talk about the staples. And this makes up about 60 characters on the list. So, God tier, the 6s and the 5s, those are only 15 characters. The amazing characters that I use all the time, depending if you have high red stars. A lot of this stuff is also dependent on what you have and what you've pulled in red stars in your roster, right? But then we get to what I call the staple characters. Now, these are characters that are useful, at least in Blitz and War. And I don't want to say that all of these characters are the same, but I'm using them about the same number of times of a week. And there's tons of really good characters in here. And I don't want to say that some of them are bad or that they're not good, but this is just like your staple characters. And this makes up 60 of the characters in the game. So this is a large part of everyone's roster right here, where we have tons of really good characters. Let's just scroll down and take a look at all of them so you can see them all line by line. I'm going to scroll through them here. A lot of new characters have been moved up to this list because of the reworks, and their addition of War characters is fantastic. Boy, Iron Man, only legendary character right there. Not using him anywhere outside of War and Blitz. My goodness. These are characters that I'm not going to put tons of resources into it, but this is where I can, on some characters I like more than others, and this is where I can make a determination if I have extra resources. Maybe I want to do a T4 here and there when it drastically helps the whole team, things like that. These are all 2s, and maybe they're going to get bumped up. Actually, Strife, I see him being used sometimes inside of player versus player. He might move up to a 3. All of this could change from time to time. Now, let's talk about the bottom of the barrel, the 1s and the 0s. Now, some of these characters are here solely because, like Hand Assassin would have got a 0, but Hand Assassin got a 1 just because you can use her to unlock Phoenix. There's also a relic event. So some of these characters just got like a token 1 just because they're useful in an event. But we have characters like Aim Infector and Aim Monstrosity. Yeah, they can be used in Blitz, but if you're using them in War, the other aim are better. We're not really using Crossbones too much anymore. A lot of these Kree right here have kind of fallen off right here. Not getting that great. Yes, you can use them to unlock Nick Fury, but I don't even use them in War anymore. Not that helpful in Blitz as well. M'Baku and Okoye, I'm no longer using the War. So what's happened with Taskmaster is that Killmonger is going to Taskmaster, going to a mercenary team. Shuri's going to Spider-Verse. Black Panther is going over to Hero Brawlers. And M'Baku and Okoye are not getting used. They're not even getting used inside of War anymore. Maybe you can use them inside of Blitz. Now, this is a controversial character right here. Ultimus. Ultimus might get bumped up to a 2 if and when I get 5 red stars on him when I go through Dark Dimension 3. Then he will have a purpose, perhaps, in War as a counter. But right now, I don't use this guy. So a lot of this has to do with my experience. I'm just not using these characters at all. Or they're maybe useful for unlocking something. And now we're getting to the dregs. And I got to say right here, the dregs, the 0s, my goodness. I don't even know if these characters are useful with a lot high red stars. The exception might be Ant-Man and Wasp. I just put them there because I really hate them. They've let me down so many times. They might work in certain situations at high red stars. And there is an event. I actually thought about giving them a 1. But these characters down here at the bottom are just generally not useful at all. And unfortunately, some of these characters like AIM and the Hydra Get-in-the-Ear and the Mercenaries, they've already had reworks. So they're not even likely that this guy's never even going to get better in the future. Hydra Get-in-the-Ear is not going to get better in the future. Hand Blastemaster, there's other hands that you can use. It's possible that we could get a rework with Ravagers. We'll see. But they're generally not useful. Poor Winter Soldier and Nebula, my goodness, not good. You could make a case for newer players using Night Nurse, but I'm just telling you right now, I don't use these characters ever at this point in time. All right, so I'll scroll back and so you can take a look over the list. Let me know what you think of the list. You might give one character a higher point or a lower point at different times, but this is just based on my usage currently in the game. Like I said, at the very top up here, the 6s and the 5s, I use almost constantly. God tiers, the 4s and the 3s are amazing characters. 2s are staples, and 1s and 0s, boy, not good. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.